Hi everyone, this is Teresa with Owl's Nest Quilters and welcome to FYI. Our series today is going to be on stabilizer. Today we're talking about a Fusible Tear Away stabilizer. So if you can only afford to get one type, this should be the type that you have available to you for most projects. The reason this is important is because it's the same type of stabilizer as the stabilizer we talked about last session, which was a tearaway. But if you look at it, it's got a very shiny, glossy coating on one side of it. This coating is fusible. So if you're looking at the coating, this is what's going to tell you which side gets fused to your fabric. So the purpose of this stabilizer is to stabilize the fabric so it doesn't move or shift. When you have a regular cotton fabric that you're doing embroidery on, if you'll notice, it has a bias stretch. So if you pull it across against the grain, you're going to see that it stretches. When you're doing embroidery or decorative stitching, you don't want this happening. So when you fuse a piece of this to the back of the fabric, you'll then notice that when I pull on the bias edge, it does not stretch. There's no stretch to that fabric in any direction. This is ideal for doing decorative stitching or embroidery. So the same thing applies with this as it did with the regular tearaway. So one layer of this will support so many stitches. It'll support approximately 8,000 stitches. So it's very simple to use. You just take and fuse it to the back of your fabric, and when you're done you can do whatever stitching you want. You can do embroidery, or you can do like I've shown you here, which is a satin kind of a satin scallopy looking stitch here. So once you get the stitch done, you need to remove that stabilizer from the back of the fabric. This can be accomplished in a very easy manner. A little trick that I would like to tell you about removing tearaway is to reheat the fabric. So what I generally do is I just take my iron and I rub it across the back of the fabric or the stabilizer, and then you just pull up an edge and you'll see that this tears away from the stitching. So as I tear, you can see how cleanly and easily this tears away from the stitching. So if the stabilizer was not reheated, then you will get little bumps of the adhesive on the back of your fabric, where here you can see it tore away very cleanly. When you do decorative stitching or embroidery, general rule of thumb is your base fabric and your base stabilizer should be fused together in some way. So the Fusible Tear Away fits that bill very well.